What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. If it's your last day of work for the week, awesome. If it's if you're like me and you work weekends, it's still Friday. It's still fun. I want to appreciate everyone. I want to let everyone know. I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined the Gilded server. It's just like Discord, only well, it's an alternative to Discord. It's very easy to use. There's a link in the description in my link tree. You go down to link tree, click it, and then you can join the Gilded. We're now up to 3,500 people in there chatting from all around the world. Obviously, totally free. Great way to meet people. Great way to play games with people. Great way to talk politics or whatever you want. So go on in and join it. There's a ton of people in there right now chatting away. Well, those are my DMs. Well, there's nothing really to be concerned about showing there. But the server itself is coming along really nicely, and it's really because of such awesome people. Now, I would say it's been interesting, to say the least, following everything going on with Rogan. We're actually talking about it in the Discord server, or in the Gilded server right now. They are getting absolutely desperate. And a lot of it is because it was never actually about, you know, getting Joe Rogan reined in. It was about silencing Joe Rogan. It was about controlling Joe Rogan. It was never about him towing the line. Never. It was about the power that they could exert over Spotify. More musicians have left. Imagine being like the 13th musician who left Spotify. Like, nobody cares. But now they've pulled out what can only be described as the desperation play. The absolute pathetic reach that this is where they are. It was never about getting Joe to be more careful about the things he said. And we'll get into that after a quick word from this video's sponsor, Sheath. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor. That's right, Sheath. These boxers are designed to keep your balls off your legs. Sheath has 3 individual compartments to keep everything down there separate and cool and comfortable. And hey, since they've been a long-time sponsor, I've heard from many of you who have tried out Sheath and really love it. They were invented by a U.S. Army soldier who came up with the idea for Sheath during his second tour in Iraq, where it was hot as heck and his boys needed to breathe. And on top of all sorts of awesome designs for Sheath, they've added all sorts of winter items, hoodies, gator necks, and all sorts of base layers. Head on over to the link in the description and pin comment down below. Use my promo code to save and support the channel and keep everything nice, cool, and dry. Now you can see that the stock is doing just fine. This week it's been all over the place, to be honest with you. It had a pretty big steep decline back on the 3rd. It's regained about half of that now. Not all of that is really related to Joe Rogan, especially if we see this article today. Spotify CEO stands by Joe Rogan. You know, he wrote, "I know some of you feel disappointed or angry or even hurt by some of the content." This is such a weird thing to me. It's like nobody's forcing anybody to listen to Joe Rogan. Why is nobody asking that question? You know what I mean? Like, you get that, like, nobody's being forced to listen to him. And the way the mainstream media is presenting it and the press is that, like, it's getting beamed into everybody's skull against their will, and it's having a real dangerous effect. People have to actively sign up for this service. They have to pay money to listen to it or whatever. Spotify Premium. These are choices made by free thinkers, people free to do what they want and to consume the content that they want. And really the ultimate, you know, thing here is, and always has been, about control. My cats are fighting over who gets in this new shipping box over there. It's getting pretty serious. You probably didn't hear that, but anyway, you know, we all know Joe Rogan's not going anywhere, no matter how many ridiculous burnt out musicians try to smear him. But now India Ari, literally who, I know she's popular. I know I'm not acting like she's a nobody, okay? It's like Neil Young, it's funny to say who, but the dude is super popular. 72 albums, you know. But now India Ari is pretending that it's all about some times he said the N-word. By the way, I saw a couple of these like N-word. Here's what he says. Ari now says Joe Rogan shouldn't even be uttering this word. Don't even say it under any context. By the way, I reject that. The context that he was using it was recalling other people using the word. Now, do I, you know, it's like, do I gain anything by saying the hard R, even if I'm using it like in, you know, the correct context? Like, hey, people are upset that people are saying this word. I don't really gain anything by saying it, and it'll get me banned off YouTube, so there's like no point in actually saying it, even in context. But this is, again, so it didn't work, like the misinformation didn't work. Now you're pulling up some old podcast where he did say something a little spicy, but again, you see here, he shouldn't even be uttering the word. Don't say it in any context. Don't say it. That's where I stand. I've always stood there. Well, I disagree with you. I don't know why you want to keep giving that word so much power. I obviously understand, you know, you don't go around calling people that. But if we're going to say, you know, hey, this is the word, you know, so-and-so called so-and-so, you know, this word, there's really nothing wrong with that. You know, nowadays, I would just say, you know, the hard R or something like that. People just know what you mean. But, like, I don't have any problem with somebody using a dictionary definition of the word. It's when you're calling somebody that in a derogatory way that word becomes powerful. And now she's like, here, India Ari shares clips of Joe Rogan calling black people apes and using the N-word. Now, the apes thing is pretty spicy. The N-word, all the N-word stuff that I saw was simply him saying, hey, she called him this, or they called them that. Not like him calling anybody black that word. India Ari took to social media to share some old clips of Rogan in action using the N-word when referring to black people, and even referred to black neighborhoods as Planet of the Apes. At the 8-minute video in the marked video below, Ari is making her case stating that Joe Rogan shouldn't even be uttering the word. Don't say it under any context. That's where I stand. I have always stood there. We have this person who is offensive to a lot of people and is paid $100 million. Oh, could it be about how much money he's making? The backbone of Spotify is the music. They don't want it to be. Sorry, India. They don't want it to be. They know that the podcasts bring in money. Music costs them money. You pay the musicians 0.003 cents to 0.005 cents. Well, how come you're talking about money so much? I thought this was about misinformation. India. Oh, misinformation. Oh, it wasn't about that. Oh, it's about a clip from 20 years ago where Joe Rogan says something stupid. That's why he's got to be deplatformed. These people are so pathetic. Now, in the clip that she shares, it's not great. You know, there are times that but again, look how old these are. And he's also referring to, you know, the dictionary definition of the word. The Planet of the Apes thing is he's talking about, you know, getting into, you know, it was not great. But I don't think there's anybody who thinks Joe Rogan's racist. You know, I just don't think that that's ever been really said about him. So even though these clips have, like, you know, existed forever, you're worried about them now. But I thought it was about misinformation. I thought it was about, oh, is it about artists not getting paid enough? Is that what it's really been about? Why do you keep talking about money? You know what I mean? And like, hey, I think musicians should get paid more too. I do. I think they should get a bigger cut. But let's not pretend that they aren't willing participants in this. They signed the contract, right? You could be like, didn't Kid Rock do it like all on his own? there are plenty of musicians who have. Where's this clip?
My music be pulled off of Spotify. So check this out.
No white people. It says, okay, take me to this one. And the guy goes, okay. I goes, is that in a good neighborhood? He's like, oh, yeah. Guy barely speaks English. He takes us there. We get out, and we're giggling. Oh, we're going to see Planet of the Apes. We walk into Planet of the Apes. We walked into Africa, dude. We walked in the door, and there was no white people.
Joey Diaz leans out of the camera, isn't laughing. Yes, this is not a great, statement, but like, how old is this video? 1 billion years old? Look at the quality of it.
People. It says, okay, take.
So you bring up a clip from 1,000 years ago and are suddenly acting like, oh, well, this is actually why we should deplatform him. These people are pathetic. These people are transparent. It's never been about the misinformation. It's never been about, now apparently, him saying the N-word 1,000 years ago, or the Planet of the Apes thing. That's a little, that's probably something worth, probably Joe being like, probably shouldn't have said that. But, I mean, to cancel him for it, to get him off Spotify for it, please. That's a 1 billion-year-old clip. And he probably regrets saying it. The N-word stuff, I didn't see a single time where he used it to refer negatively to somebody who is black. He was just talking about, hey, so-and-so said this or so-and-so called them that. And even she doesn't say that. I mean, that doesn't stop these other websites from saying that. They're trying to say, calling black people apes and using the N-word, like in the least charitable way possible. India, I'm sure, is welcome to go on Joe's show where he would talk about it. I'm sure Joe would, regret that he said that. But let's not pretend like these people care about anything but power. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.